Good morning, each one of you. So today we are going to continue with chapter number 9, reproduction in animals. So before starting the new concept, let's recap what we have discussed already. Children, already the definition of reproduction, why reproduction is necessary, types of reproduction, male and female organs of male and female reproductive organs. After that, the process of fertilization. About IVF, we have read that how a female can give birth to a young one if its fallopian tubes are blocked. After that, yesterday we did that how after the fertilization zygote develop into an embryo, and embryo after that develop into a baby. So this was till here we had discussed yesterday. Now let's continue with the next part, viviparous and oviparous animals. Already these words are we have done in the misunderstood words. So children, there may be a question to differentiate between the viviparous and oviparous animals. So you have to give one definition plus examples of it. So let's continue. The animals which give birth to the young ones are known as viviparous animals. So there is a difference. You may know that few animals are there which give birth to the young ones, and few are there which lay eggs, and after that the chick. Harshit, don't talk. The animals which give birth to the young ones are called the viviparous animals. And others, the animals which lay eggs, they are known as oviparous animals. So may I know the examples of viviparous animals? Give me the examples of viviparous animals who give birth to the young ones.
Ma'am, cow, hen.
Ma'am, cow, dog, cat.
Okay, these are the animals which lay,
Ma'am,
which give birth to the
ma'am,
young
we
ones. And few are there
ma'am, we
oviparous
can
animals, the only animals which lay eggs, that are known
Ma'am,
as
dinosaur.
Ma'am, hen,
oviparous.
ostrich.
Yes.
Ma'am, dinosaur.
And even yesterday we had read about the frog and all the maximum water animals, they lay eggs and the external fertilization takes place in their body. So I hope the difference between the viviparous and oviparous animal is clear to you, and you have to write down the examples also. Next comes activity 9.2. What's there in this activity? The eggs of few animals are easy to observe because their mothers lay egg outside the body. Okay, these are the examples of oviparous animals. But we won't be able to collect the eggs of a dog, cow, or cat. This is because they do not lay eggs. The mother directly give birth to the young ones. These are the examples of viviparous. So already we have done the examples of oviparous and viviparous animals. So children, till here, any confusion to anyone? So you can frame one extra question, the difference between the viviparous and oviparous animals. And yesterday even we have also discussed that how hen lay eggs and sit on the egg for few weeks to provide the warmth, and after that the chick come out of it. Okay. So these all are the examples of viviparous and oviparous animals. Let's move to the further new concept, that is young ones to adult. So children, there is one situation in which the animal go through the drastic changes. Means directly they lay eggs, and after that they have to move through the drastic changes. After 2 or 3 stages, they come to the young ones. Okay. Let's discuss the example of such kind of animals. So Geet, just continue from this paragraph. Young ones to adult.
Young ones to adults. The new individuals which are born or hatched from the eggs continue to grow till they become adults. In some animals, the young ones may look very different from the adults. Recall the life cycle of the silkworm, egg to larva or caterpillar, pupa, and adult. You studied in class 7th. Frog is another such example. Observe the different stages of frog starting from the egg to the adult stage. We find that there are three distinct stages, that is, egg, tadpole, adult. Don't the tadpoles look so different from the adults? Can you imagine that these tadpoles would someday become frogs? Similarly, the caterpillar or the pupa of silkworm looks very different from the adult moth. The features that are present in the adult are not found in these young ones. Then what happens to the tadpoles or caterpillars thereafter?
Okay.
You must have
Okay, better. Thank you. So children, in these paragraphs you have read, in last year we did the cycle of silkworm. How silkworm lays the egg, and after that, after laying the eggs changes into a larva or caterpillar, we can say, then pupa, then the silkworm is formed. Means then the adult is there. So means it has to pass through the different stages. Three stages it has passed, then it has changed into the adult. Similarly, let's see the stage of frog even. Frog passes through three distinct stages. First, the female frog lay the eggs, and after that changes into tadpole or larva. Then it changes to adult. Okay, so these are the three distinct stages of the life of frog. And children, one very important thing, that these three stages look different from each other. See, eggs, after that, early tadpole. When the further fertilization takes place, zygote is formed, then that changes into the early tadpole. This is a, and after that, that is a later stage, later tadpole, and after a few days or after a few weeks it changes into a frog. So you may see yourself that how the different stages different from each other even in the appearance. Okay. Yes, Ananya Jan, continue.
You must have seen a beautiful moth emerging out of a cocoon. In the case of tadpoles, they transform into adults capable of jumping and swimming. The transformation of the larva into an adult through drastic changes is called metamorphosis. What about the changes that we observe in our body as we grow? Do you think we too undergo metamorphosis in human beings' body parts similar to those present in the adults are present from the time of birth?
Okay, so children, it's very important definition, metamorphosis. I want each one of you to read it carefully. The transformation of larva into an adult through drastic changes. It's very important to write down. If you directly write down only that larva is changing into adult, that will not be considered. Okay, so drastic changes are taking place in the stage from larva to adult. So that process is known as metamorphosis. I hope everybody has underlined. So the question may be there, define metamorphosis and give one or two examples of it. So children, you can give examples. First, the definition you will be writing. And after that, two examples are given in your book. First example is of life cycle of silkworm. And another example is of this frog, how frog changes into the, from eggs to adult. So I hope this concept is clear to you, and one more few more examples you can take for it. Any other example that you can give me just now? There is, you must have seen the metamorphosis. Kindly raise your hand if any of the example you know in which the drastic changes takes place in animal's body. Tell me if any example you know.
Butterfly.
Yes.
Ma'am, butterfly.
Butterfly. Yes, even the stage of butterfly also passes through the different stages. Children, after that, till now we have discussed the sexual reproduction in animals, and we have read about the viviparous, oviparous animals, and this metamorphosis process. Now we can continue with the asexual reproduction. So what is there? In the beginning, you have discussed that asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction in which only one single parent is required. Sexual reproduction में क्या था? Two parents are required for it. So asexual reproduction, we can say that only one parent is required. And in this class, we are going to study about the amoeba and hydra, how amoeba reproduces and how hydra reproduces. Okay, so it's very interesting. So children, I'll continue with the this part tomorrow, or if any of the problem till now, you can ask me.